Hey guys, welcome to another market review session with us. As our tradition is, we look at some currency indices together. Then we also look at some currency pairs together. All right, so let's quickly go into the video proper. This is DXY, that's the US dollar currency index. Currently, we've gotten a rejection, all right, from this demand zone between 104.233 and 103.879. Now, I want you to note that these values may vary depending on your broker. It will most likely vary, all right. So just make sure you have an understanding of what this zone looks like and be able to find it or to locate it on your chart. All right, so I'm watching out for DXY during the course of this week to become stronger. All right, so at least up to this point, this is around 105.066. So I'll watch out for price to still push up a bit. All right, so my bias for DXY during the course of this week would be bullish. All right, I'll be expecting a stronger dollar during the course of this week. All right, next up, let's look at BXY, which is the Great British Pound Currency Index. And currently, we've seen the price has entered a very, very keen supply zone. All right, this is around 127.94 and 127.10. All right, so I'm watching out for the possibility of getting a rejection from this zone. However, I want to show us something. We've had two touches of this zone previously around here. All right, and we're having another instance where we get to see price come up into that zone. I want to possibly see price still push up a bit into the 50% mark, all right, of this zone here. This will be around 127.53 or so. All right, so I'm watching out for price to still push up into that 50% part mark rather, and then we get to see the bearish rejection or the bearish move happen from there. All right, so I hope that is clear. For BXY, let's look at AXY, the Australian dollar currency index. Also, all right, so I have two scenarios here, and I'll try my best to explain my thinking or my reasoning behind them. All right, so first off, we have this supply zone. This is around 67.29 and 66.69. All right, so even though I'm expecting a sell off of this, all right, I want to be watchful because now we've seen that price has given us a little bit of a reaction not a little bit actually. We've seen some fair enough bit of reaction inside this zone. All right, I'm referring to this area here. Let me just mark it out quickly. All right, so I'm referring to this area here. We've seen some fair bit of reaction inside there, and currently there's every possibility for this zone to have turned weak, and we might get to see a break of that zone. Hence, you see I drew an arrow previously. Right, so I'll possibly watch out for price coming towards here. Now, this is a previous resistance that's only been tested once here. All right, this is around give me a minute, please. So it is around 67.51. All right, so around that area, I'm watching out for the possibility of price still pushing up right towards that resistance, or they'll get to see that bearish reaction. All right, however, overall my bias would be for AXR, that will be bearish. I'll be expecting the Australian dollar to grow weaker during the course of the week. All right, so something similar is what I am having on my chart for CXY, which is the Canadian dollar currency index. Also, you can see that price has entered again a supply zone that is very, very interesting, or is very, very particular with high probability, I feel. All right, so we're going to see that price has even come up into the 50% mark. All right, so I'm watching out for price to continue in that wise. This looks like a fairly strong rejection candle. All right, that's the last bearish candle here. So I'm watching out for price to continue towards the downside, and if possible, come back towards this trend line. All right, so overall my bias on CXY during the course of the week would be bearish in that wise. All right, so last but not the least on our list of currency indices that we look at together is JPY basket. All right, so for JPY basket, I'm expecting JPY to get stronger during the course of the week. All right, however, I want to be watched for a few things. Number one, this is a support. All right, this is around 5924. All right, you're seeing price. We've seen act as support here once, all right, and then twice, and then we would see that price has come back towards that support, and it looks like we might get to see a break below that support. All right, so if we do get to see a break below that support, then this second scenario here would hold. All right, so we'll get to see price break there, take our liquidity from that, all right, and then we get to see price come down towards this zone, which is around between 5848 and 5665. All right, so if that doesn't happen, however, if we get to see that zone, or sorry, that resistance, right, that's still forgive me, the supports around 5924. If we get to see that still hold, then definitely we'll just be continuing we'll be continuing the buy on JPY basket. All right, so I hope that is clear. All right, for the currency indices, as I said earlier, we have quite some a large amount, all right, of currency pairs to look at together. So let's quickly go into them. All right, so quick, first off, we're looking at, I usually call it everybody's favorite because I do feel like it is everybody's favorite, gold. All right, so what would be my bias for gold? All right, so I just basically marked out this previous high, all right, yeah, and the previous high before. Currently we're seeing a price as still continued bullish on gold. All right, however, since we're expecting some level of strength on the US dollar this week, it is fairly, all right, it's about, for me, it's about 40% safe, all right, for me to say that we should be expecting gold to be bearish, all right, during the course of the week. Though it might not last throughout the whole week, we might just see that happen towards Monday to Wednesday or so, depending on how much strength we get to see the moves in the market. All right, so yeah, I'll be watching out for this to happen. So let me just give us coordinates between give me a minute, between 2432.62 and 2418.59. all right, so I'm watching out for price to get that rejection and we get to see a sell off. All right, I think this is the current all-time high for gold. All right, so if by some chance you get to see that place being broken, then definitely we'll be expecting gold to continue bullish and make a new all-time high. All right, so I hope that is clear on gold. Anyways, I'll be watching out for more sells. I'll be very, very watchful actually on gold. I'll be very, I feel like this is fairly risky, but I'll still be watchful for what would happen on gold during the course of the week. All right, so I hope that is clear. Next up, let's look at USD CAD. This is, so I'm showing us most of these on the 4-hour time frame, all right, so we can just have a fair enough long-term oversight of what we're expecting. All right, so currently we're seeing that price is in, I think this is called a pennant. All right, so we've seen that price is in this formation. All right, and currently we've seen price get a level of rejection from, all right, this demand zone. Now I want to be watchful. All right, there's every possibility of this demand zone still holding, and going by the fact that we're expecting a stronger dollar. All right, I'm watching out for price to still push towards the upside, or it might not necessarily get back to this older trend line here. All right, but from where price is when market opens, I'm watching out for USD CAD to buy. All right, so I'm watching out for more buys on USD CAD. All right, so I hope that is clear for USD CAD. All right, so next up, let's look at GBP USD. All right, don't mind me. So for GBP USD, something similar, all right, to what we had on gold. I'll be expecting a sell. All right, however, for me, a more preferable zone will be around here. This is around 1.28309 and 1.27579. all right, that would be a more preferable zone for me to see that sell to happen from. All right, so however, I want to be watchful for, give me a minute, let me just mark it out. I want to be watchful for this. I don't know if it has been broken yet. It's looking like it has. All right, so somewhere around here. All right, so when market opens, we either get to see that sell off happen directly from here, or we get to see price still push up a bit, and then we get to see that sell off on GBP USD. So my bias overall will be bearish. So I'm looking for sell opportunities to present themselves on GBP USD. All right, next up, let's look at GBP JPY. So also I'm looking out for sales on GBP JPY during the course of this week. I simply marked out the whole week of this very, very impulsive candle you can see here. That is around 200.488 and 198.003. Now I know that this is a fairly large zone to mark out. All right, so before taking a sell on this commodity, I would advise that with your entry criteria, probably go down to lower time frames with your entry criteria and find a preferable zone while practicing the proper risk management on this trade specifically. All right, so even though I'm watching out for sales, I just want to be very, very watchful for price to just possibly still come up. It's just that very slim possibility, right, for price to still come up into the 50% of this. All right, that'll be around 199.251. all right, so I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear for give me a minute, please. I hope that is clear for GBP JPY. all right, so next up, let's look at AUD USD. All right, so something similar to what we said for GBP USD also. I'm expecting a sell again. I know they are seeing a lot of sales and like, why is this uncle seeing sales? Well, currently we're seeing that we're expecting a stronger dollar. All right, so it's fairly natural for currency pairs against the dollar to be selling. All right, if we're expecting the dollar to buy, then currency pairs against the dollar, would be selling. All right, so that's just a little bit of correlation. All right, so for AUD, I'll be expecting a sell also. Currently we're in this supply zone around 0.67 292 and 0.66873. All right, so I want to watch out for price to continue that sell from there. Again, I want to be very watchful because what you can see right now is that price has come back into the zone again, and I do not like when price does that personally. All right, that is not a preferred reaction for me. All right, but I still want to be watchful for the possibility of price still continuing bearish. All right, so that being said, I'll be watching out also for more sells on AUD USD during the course of the week. Something similar is what we have on Euro USD. Also, I'm watching out for sales. All right, so let me just give us the coordinates to this also: 1.09159 and 1.08906. All right, so I want to watch out for price to continue bearish on this also. All right, so I think I just used out to combine AUD USD and Euro USD together. All right, so I'm watching out for that to happen. All right, so I'm looking for sales also on Euro USD. Again, before taking on any of these trades, I would advise that you should be able to look out for lower time frame confirmations. That's one thing I emphasize on a lot if you have been following us. All right, so please do your best to watch out for every possible confirmation before taking any of these trades. All right, so I would like to clear for Euro USD. Let's go up into GBP NZD. All right, GBP NZD. So simply, I'll be watching out for GBP NZD to buy. All right, this is a demand zone that looks very promising to me. This is around 2.06091 and 2.05336. So I'm watching out for that buy to happen from there. Now, I want to also be very, very careful because currently we've seen that it looks like price is about to break this previous support around 2.06789. Now, if that happens, then there's every possibility for us to get to see price clear up more liquidity from this imbalance left here. I hope you can see that. Probably I should try and zoom in to make it a bit clearer. All right, so you can see it is around here. All right, if that happens, all right, if that happens, then definitely I'm watching out for price to use that liquidity, take up liquidity from there, come down rather into this demand, and then we get to see our buy happen. All right, so I'm watching out for that to happen on GBP NZD. So a sort of sell to buy correctly is what I'm looking at on GBP NZD. The coordinates again are 2.06091 and 2.05336 for the demand zone. All right, so before entering on any of these trades, like I said earlier, please make sure you do your own analysis. All right, this is just a guide. All right, so just give you an idea of what we would be expecting the market to do during the course of the week. All right, next up, let's look at NZD USD, and for this also I'll be watching out for sales again. So this is an XXX as it were against USD. All right, a certain commodity or a certain currency against USD. All right, so I'm watching out for a sell to happen from this zone. This is quite a large zone again. This is between 0.61776 and 0.61316. All right, so I'm watching out for a sell to happen from there. Again, I do not necessarily like the reactions that we're having. All right, but I guess if we get to see that sell to happen, and this will have just made equal eyes. All right, and then we'll get to see the sell happen from there. All right, so I'm just watching out for sells also on NZD USD. I hope that is clear. Quickly, without wasting time, let's look at Euro CAD. I think I should probably explain this from the daily time frame first. Yes, let's do the daily time frame first. All right, so this is what I'm looking at on EuroCAD right now. Currently, we've seen that price has been showing some level of bullishness. All right, what do I mean by that? We've seen price is just locally. Probably I should zoom out, zoom in a bit rather. Just locally, we've seen that it looks like price is still gaining some strength. All right, so for me, the next proper zone to be expecting sales would be here. All right, this is around 1.49368 and 1.48725. All right, that'll be the next place for me to be watching out for sales from, as it were. All right, but I want to be watchful for two things. All right, so two scenarios I'm going to two scenarios I'm going to be presenting to you here. One, scenario number one, we get to see price fall from this point. All right, what that would mean is that price will work with this, which will mean that this place has become a pivot. All right, or the support here, then it will become a resistance here, and then we get, let me mark that out in case it isn't clear enough. Right, this is where we got to see price act as a support, and then give me a minute, please. Forgive me, I'm coming. All right, and then we got to see price, or we're getting to see the possibility of price acting as a resistance. So support here, resistance here. So I hope that is clear. All right, so if by time market opens or price market opens rather, we get to see price fall, then that will have meant that this pivot has actually held up. So however, I want to be watchful still. I want to watch for the chance that this will get broken, all right, and then we get to see price come up into, like I said, this is a more preferable zone to get sales from for me, right? It doesn't mean that this zone or this point can't work, but this would be, as it were, more preferable, as it were, more ideal for me based on my technique or my style of trading. All right, so overall my bias on euro card will be bearish. I'll be looking out for more sales on euro card during the course of the week. All right, so I hope that is clear for euro card. Next up, let's look at AUD NZD. AUD NZD. Quite simply, now this is on the daily time frame also. Quite simply, I'm watching out for buys to happen on AUD NZD. This zone I have marked out here is between what 1.09064 and 1.08537. All right, so that's why I'm watching out for buys to happen currently on AUD NZD. Give me a minute, please. On AUD NZD, so I'm watching out for buys on AUD NZD. I think I'm seeing something similar to that also on yes, on euro NZD. All right, so AUD NZD, euro NZD, I'm expecting buys to happen, all right, on those two commodities. All right, so the zone I'm looking at, or the current demand zone I'm looking at for AUD and for euro NZD, right, is between 1.77075 and 1.76262. All right, so that's why I'm watching out for that buy to happen on euro NZD. All right, so I hope that is clear for both AUD NZD and euro NZD. Now, last but not the least, all right, for the night would be AUD CHF. All right, AUD CHF, that will be the last commodity I'll be looking at for tonight. All right, probably I should go up to the daily time frame for this also. Yes, all right, so currently this zone would be where what I'm watching out for a sell. This would be my preferred supply zone on AUD CHF. All right, so I'm watching out for prices to come up a bit before we get to see a sell. This is between 0.61684 and 0.61149. All right, so if I get to see that sell off happen, then sorry, if I get to see price push up into that zone, then definitely I'm watching out for sales. All right, so overall my bias on AUD CHF is a sell. All right, but I would prefer to take that sell when I get to see price come up into that supply zone. All right, so thank you very much for joining us for today. That's all actually. That'll be all that we're looking at this evening. All right, thank you very much for joining us for tonight's market review. Please do well, like I said earlier, to take up your own charts and do your own analysis before taking any of these trades. Make sure that you have a confluence of confirmations based on your trading strategy. All right, do not be one who predicts the market. Be one that works based on analysis. All right, be reactive. Make sure that you have seen, okay, yes, this is a valid zone and I can now take a buy from this zone, or I can now take a sell. All right, if you predict, it will be gambling, and if it's gambling, then there's every possibility for you to lose more. All right, so we do analysis and we make sure by all means that we have confirmations to back up our analysis. All right, so again, thank you for watching joining us for tonight's market review. Please do also like, share, subscribe, share to your friends. I usually say there are many people out there, you might have friends, and you would have friends that need this type of free services, as it were, because this is on our YouTube channel and it's free. All right, so do also share this to your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, good night guys, bye.